So about 2 weeks ago, the Pokemon TCG Pocket posted this triple threat evolution deck, and it was a surprisingly cool thing. I didn't know that the official company actually, post deck profiles for newer players, but that they actually do this more times, as only a few days ago they did this Primarina one with Sylveon, and they've been doing this for a long time, all the way back into Mythical Islands. And so I kind of want to answer the question of, is this good advice, right, for a newer player to take? And basically pose the question, can the Pokemon TCG Pocket cook? Can they cook? Can the official Pokemon TCG Pocket account cook? So we're going to look through every deck. We're going to talk about the context of the meta, starting with what we know now, right, EV Grove, and make our way through all of them with kind of a 1 through 5 system. 1, not good at all. The official Pokemon account is griefing you if you were to use this. 2 is not good, but there are sparks. The deck works. And here we might show you guys some ways to make it better. 3 is this is okay, functional, playable, but we can make it better, right? Functional, you can take this on ranked and you might go on a streak. 4 is just wow, they cooked. It does not surprise me. There's very small optimizations we can make, but this is a good ass deck. And 5 is a masterpiece. You can go win a tournament with this deck. So super excited to go through this. We'll get to that EV Flareon deck first. Let's start with this Primarina deck. So we have Primarina, Vaporeon, Sylveon, right? I think that this deck is surprisingly extremely functional. I think Primarina Sylveon is one of the best ways to run it if you're not just running solo Primarina. And I think that they also built in an Oricorio counter, right, with Vaporeon, which I think is really cool. This deck running a copy of Misty, so that you can cheese an early attack, cheese some energy acceleration. Mars is amazing. Hand Rip, Lily and How are just good. PCOM is consistency. They built a good deck. I would give this deck a 3.5, right? It's obviously the deck is super cohesive. It is Primarina, which is unfortunately a weaker deck, but it has something for everything. I think that this is a deck that if I did not know other content creators, I just went on a Pokemon site and they showed me this deck, I would be amazed. They cooked. I already give the official Pokemon account can cook. I really like everything that they're doing here. The only kind of card I would consider making a change is probably PCOM. PCOM can be really any other card if you're not too worried about the consistency, since Sylveon is drawing you 90% of your deck, especially when paired with Professor's Research. So I can see that be either an extra Lily, an extra How, or just an extra support card like Rocky, Geo, probably not Geo, you have How. Just something that would help the deck do more things. A second Misty copy, maybe even an Irida, because this deck does lack healing, besides Lily. And I think that would be really cool to have that general on the board healing. But that is the only thing. Like I said, it's a 3.5, and it's only a 3.5 because Primarina decks are going to be weaker, but this is a cook. I love this deck. Next up, we have the deck that I said inspired this video. I mean, this deck is so cool. It is a Flareon, Leafeon, Sylveon deck, right? We've seen this deck be a meta deck. It's a top 5 deck in this current meta. And it has everything that you would come to expect, with a little bit of spice as well. They're adding Dawn, and if you don't know, with Dawn, you can now attack with Flareon even earlier, right? Because you Leafeon a grass energy, if you have the energy attached, or 1 grass, 1 fire going first. You can Leafeon again, attach another grass energy, put the fire energy into Flareon, retreat the Leafeon, put the Flareon in the front, Dawn the energy, Flareon's at 3 energy. This is an insane cook. I think this is actually really ridiculous. To show you guys how ridiculous this is, I'll show you guys how the tournament version of this deck looks. This is the deck from Valden. They finished first in a 300 plus player tournament. They're probably one of the best EV box players this format. And look at this. Literally a 2-card difference from the top deck. The only thing is, like, this obviously is going to run Mars. And this is running a Leafeon over a Sylveon. Extremely cool. This is a 5. This is a masterpiece. I think that this can top cut a tournament. You can take this exact list and do really good. So big major shout outs to the Pokemon TCG Pocket official account. You guys cooked. Stand proud. You are strong. All right, this next deck, which I think kind of is funny, because of the first reply, thank you for sharing the deck that everyone has been using in ranked for 2 weeks. This is an extra dimensional crisis deck now, so we're in a different format. This is Silvally Rampardos, which is there anything to say about Silvally Rampardos? This is just the exact same deck list that everyone uses, except there's a PCL here, right? But like, come on. I will say the choice to drop to a Pokeball is cooking. Obviously, most people already do that. But for them to also like be like to no ball, kind of insane, kind of really cool. But this is just Silvally Rampardos. This is a 5 as well. They cooked, but they cooked in a way that they just stole the homework. They added a PCL. This deck does not need PCL. This deck would like Sabrina, and maybe like add a red somewhere. They have Guzma, so maybe that's why they don't have red. But stand proud. They are strong. This is a 5. This is literally just ripped. The replies kind of say it already. This one, Joel Smith, saying, wow, thanks for sharing the deck that everyone knows. This is another deck. This is Naganadel. Realize they don't have a link, so we're going to have to watch and then pause. This is just another tournament list. But I am realizing something right now. I'm realizing that they are a real big fan of Cyrus. You're going to notice that when they have the opportunity to choose between Sabrina and Cyrus, they almost always choose Cyrus, which is really cool. This deck was basically a deck in this current format, right? So like this being here and doing as good, like a lot of people have dropped to 1 Celesteela. This is also stand proud. They have cooked. I think that because this was an extra dimensional crisis, I think that the Naganadel version was a lot weaker. It was extremely inconsistent. Tournament results back that up. So I'm going to give this a 4. Like, this is a really strong way to play the Naganadel version. Though most people at the time were dropping Naganadel to a 1/1 copy so that you can add more supporters, because that was the issue with this deck. But no, stand proud. You're strong. You have cooked. This is another good deck you can definitely streak with on ranked at the time of ED Crisis. You can streak with this on ranked now. So I think that's so funny that they have just built a really strong deck back to back. And of course, let me see this is really hard to mess up. So damn, you guys just doxed my deck that ranked me 2 leagues higher. Bro, everyone knew this deck was going to be good. But let's look at it. And see where I'm at. I literally ran this. Nope. There's like, chat. Do you see what's missing from this deck? there's a major Celesteela size hole missing in this deck. What? Okay, I'm sorry. I have to dock a lot of points. This is like a 2.5, right? Like, it's okay because I think the deck is still functional, but there's sparks. We can make it better, right? There are cards that we can remove. The fact that there's a Picom here, get that out of here. I can see you remove Beastite as well, and then just add the 2 Celesteela. I do not know why there's not 2 Celesteela in this deck. Please put the Celesteela back in this deck. This is a 2.5. There's sparks. This deck is functional. You could have taken it on ranked and probably been fine. Most of your opponents would assume that you bricked Celesteela, because where the freak is Celesteela? But the deck is like 10 times better when you have a Celi that allows you to switch between decks. I was about to say that, like, as I was getting through this video, I'm like, there's like no like room for me to improve some of these decks. I think that they're just like really good at making decks. But this is not the cook that you think it is. The official Pokemon TCG Pocket account. Oh, now we're in Celestial Guardians, right? May 22nd. And they put a Lunala Giratina deck. This is a deck that people have wanted me to play every time I'm on like stream during that, they're like, why aren't you playing Lunala and Giratina? It's probably okay. No, I think that this deck was bad, but let's see if they were able to make a functional version, and they were able to make a functional version, a Lunala, Tina, but they have a Necrozma. I'm going to be real, I don't know what this Pokemon does. Oh, that just is the full image. Let me... Okay, for 120, it's a big beat, essentially, 4 energy big beat. That's cute. That's cute. That's obviously clearly anti-Oricorio, right? My issue is that the deck already has an anti-Oricorio measure, right? If we look at this deck list, there is, in fact, an anti-Oricorio measure in the Giratina that, you know, if this Pokemon has any energy attached, it has no retreat cost. So I think that the Necrozma is competing for a role that can be used for another Pokemon, can even be used for another Giratina. I just think that this is not the way to go. But the deck is functional, has a lot of things going for it. It even has Sabrina Cyrus, which is always going to be good. The issue is more that this deck just isn't good. And that's really it. It's functional, so I'm going to give this one a 3. I think that it is important as the official company, right, to highlight the very many different decks. They don't have to be all meta tier 1 decks. I think that this is great. There's so many of you guys, like I said, that kept asking when I'm going to play Lunala EX, and I never played Lunala EX. This is like a deck for you guys, right? Like, this is a deck that you can have fun with. I think you can streak with it. It's on rank, not really high, but you can. And I think that for the time period, it is important to highlight decks, even if they're not the strongest. That's fine. That's what I'm here for, to highlight the strongest. But here we go. They built an Oricorio Magnezone deck as well. Oh my god, this is a meta deck since Celestial Guardian. So let's see what they added here, what they've changed. I like it. No, this is a great deck. Double Guzma, I think there's a little bit too much, but Mag Oricorio, perfect deck. Double healing with the cape as well. I like this deck. This is really, really good, especially as a place to have people start. This deck cooked. Like, this is not only a really good meta relevant deck, but a deck that would end up defining a lot of the later parts of it. I think Narumi winning with that. I will show you their list right now. This list got first out of 2,800 people. This is like literally won the biggest Pokemon Pocket Tournament of all time. And like, they were really close. They had a lot of great ideas, right? A lot of healing, the Sabrina, the Cyrus, right? And like, I think maybe the date even shows. This was made May 20th. This tournament was May 17th, so just a few days after. They were like, yo, we gotta talk about this deck. They kind of acknowledged this deck, right? And I think that's really, really cool. Again, I love the official Pokemon TCG Pocket account because I do think that they know ball and they do keep up with the community as much as a Pokemon handled account is allowed to. So really, really cool for them to have posted it. And it is just so close to being a really, really strong deck, right? The Shaman for extra healing. The Rocky Helmet wasn't really needed. I think one cool thing about Narumi's deck is that they had Lily, which put 2 PCLs into 1, so that you can beat the Mag Meows pretty easily. So really, really cool to see this deck being posted 3 days after one of the biggest tournaments of all time happening in Pokemon Pocket. And it is just like, I think that's really cool. Like, get people updated. Obviously, they didn't necessarily fully like acknowledge it in the article, but it is still like, again, just cool to see it. So big shout out. They know ball. This is a 5. I will give this a 4. I'll give this a 4. I think that no one should ever run 2 Guzma. So 4.5. We'll give it a 4.5. They know ball. Arceus. So we're in March 6th now, 2025. So I think this is the next one going to be February. Okay, so they took quite a gap before the next one, or maybe I just missed it. But Arceus Abomasnow, I'm ready to give this a 1, but let's look at the deck before we say anything. They have a 1/1 Glaceon line with the Snover Abomasnow, right? If you guys don't know, basically attacks used by this when an Arceus is gone on the field cost only 1 water less, so it's actually a 2 water attacker. It uses Irida. The EVs really does not belong here. They're just like, let's just throw it in for the fans. I don't like this deck. I'm gonna be real. I think that Abomasnow is one of the weaker, but not as weak as something like Tyranitar. Options to choose. So like highlighting this deck was like kind of a funny situation. Double PCOM. Yeah, no, this is. This also doesn't meet the requirement for Arceus. Arceus decks want to have 6 basics, generally, so that you can more consistently be on time to have your full-powered Ultimate Force. So it's missing another basic. You can just add like Rotom if you want another mon that like just fits the theme. Double Irida is cute because I do think that's the advantage you get when you're playing Abomasnow. This is a 1 though. I think that this deck is not great what it's trying to do. And if you're using this, remember that Triumphant Light was a tier 0 format where the Alga Arceus was just the best deck. If you're using this over a really good deck, you're being griefed. You're just being griefed. You don't even beat Rampardos with this. So yeah. Finally, in February 14th, so now we're in Space Time Smackdown, and they post Magrai. I think this is one of the coolest decks ever in Pokemon Pocket. So let's see what their take on it is. They have the 2 Druddigon, they have the 2 Darkrai, they have the Magnezone list, the PCOM for consistency, Sabrina, Cyrus, Leaf. This is dare I say, this is a cook. This might just be the tournament list 1 for 1. This is essentially the tournament list 1 for 1. If you didn't know that people chose between Kangaskhan and Druddigon, so this is like pretty much fine, right? And then obviously this guy has Rocky Helmet because they're not running Druddigons, right? So I think that this is a cook, right? You go to another deck from this time period, right? The Hugalandia Hemocue ran a 1-1 of these 2 guys, right? So basically you are allowed a lot of space. This is a good deck. Like, oops, wrong deck. This is also the wrong deck. This is just a good deck. I like it. I think that they cook. They should stand proud. They're strong. This is, like I said, a tournament deck. This is one of the coolest tournament decks at the time. Having 2 ways to charge is really cool. And a meta that was extremely dominated by Eggy. This was just a fun deck. And one of the stronger decks in that format. So happy to see this here. Happy to see, again, the Pokemon community highlight it. We even have Zatumi here, kind of talking about it. Osti is also here. Really great shorts. Really great content. So, big love. There was also this version, right? The Greninja. Oh, I love this meta so much. Besides that one evil-ass, messed up deck. So, yeah, no, they cooked. But let's see. This is Dialga, not Arceus. Remember, this is February 4th, so this is still Space Time Smackdown. So let's see what they're going for. Metallic Turbo deck. What are they metallically turboing? It's Melmetal. Oh, this is a cook though. Okay, I'm not gonna be honest. I think this deck is not good, but I think that they cooked. They were having fun. The intern was like, let me hit the stew. Let me make something. They have a Mew EX with Budding Expeditioner. They have a Dawn. Because you can Dawn, I guess. I don't even really see the combinations with Dawn. Do you want a Metallic Turbo and then Dawn so that you can do 100 the next turn? That's cute. 130. That's, you know what? Sauced. They have a Melmetal because metal types didn't really have anything. And then a 1 Skarmory because, you know, starting Skarmory. Ping, 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 ping. I would probably add 2 Skarmory to this deck. Actually, you don't even have enough tools to play 2 Skarmory. I'd probably drop a potion entirely, maybe. I don't know. This deck is... Maybe drop a leaf, actually. You have 2 leaves. Drop a leaf. This deck looks fun. This deck looks fun as heck. I think that this is like a solid... They cooked, but it's like a 2 to 2.5. Like 2, it's like a bad... It's really bad. Like the deck, but the deck has sauce. Really bad, but the deck has sauce. They have a lot of 2-card combos, whether it's Dawn, Dialga, Mew, Budding, Skarmory, Giant Cape. So really, really fun deck. Makes me miss some cards on this list. I miss mostly Mew. But really, really cool. Stand proud. They've cooked. And we have Pidgeot and Druddigon. I think this is Mythical Islands, right? January 24th. So let's see what they are cooking. I mean, Druddigon Tauros was a real combo, so I'm not gonna shame them there. They at least put Mew, because Mew's really good. But the Scattering Cyclones was just not that strong. They have the Pidgeot too. I love that. Pidgeot EX if you're gonna play this deck. It's a fun deck. I think this deck is actually fun. It can be a counter to Celebi because it deals like 120 already if they have 2 benches, and then you Giovanni to deal the final 130. So this deck can cook. It's fun. The Druddigon also puts things in range. I'm gonna give this a 3. Like, this Pidgeot never really did anything in this format, but like if I'm getting all my deck content from the official Pokemon count, this is a fun deck. Rank didn't even exist yet, right? You should go on casuals, you dunk on some dude, you're like, yo, stand proud, you are strong type shit. But it's like a 3 to 2.5. And here we have the Marshadow Aerodactyl. This is just the real deck, right? This is just a real deck, yeah. Like, this is just fighting aggro. Let me see how they looked in tournaments, because this just looks just like a tournament deck to me. This is a deck that I placed first in a 500-player tournament, which 500 players used to be a small tournament back in the day, which is kind of crazy to think about now. But this is pretty much the same list, right? Pretty much the same list. They added a leaf for no reason. You have 2x speeds. These decks are all 1 retreat. Why would you do that? Yeah, this is like a 4. Just remove the X speed and add like remove the leaf and add like a card that actually does something. It's just an aggro deck, right? I think it's cool that this is a cook. This is a tournament deck. It's not the best tournament deck, but it was a strong tournament deck. Fighting aggro, I kind of miss when Hitmonlee was a thing and how annoying it was, because like if you saw fighting energy, you would basically wait until your opponent does something and then you play things. But I like it. I miss when fighting wasn't just Rampardos swing for a million. The game. This is really cool. I don't really have anything else to really say about this deck, but solid deck. And we have one deck left. Vaporeon Gyarados. And Starmie. Yo, this is a cook. This was a cook. This is how some early builds ended up looking. Vaporeon was really cool because it can wash out. Starmie has a 0 retreat cost. This is a cool deck. But there's no Misty, which makes it less of a cool deck. I don't know why they're running Leafs. This deck only needs 1 leaf. I don't know what they're. I think the intern at this time really loved having Leaf. Like, maybe Leaf was their waifu or something, because there's no reason why you should have this many Leafs in a deck where your main secondary attacker is a 2 retreat cost. You just need 1 Leaf in this deck. Drop X speeds, add Misty. Misty would make this deck so much more broken. Why are you not running Misty in this deck? And yeah, no, this is a fun deck. I will give this like a 3.5 to a 4. Most Gyarados players realized that Druddigon Gyarados is better by the end of the format, but give Starmie its flowers. Starmie was a really cool card back in the day. Really sad to see it not be playable. So many cards, I think, were not playable. I had so many tabs open for this, but this was a fun look back. And I guess to answer that question, that might be also the title, can the official Pokemon TCG Pocket account cook? The answer is yeah, they can. This is a really fun retrospective. And, you know, the next set comes out tomorrow night. So I just needed some content while I work on editing some things down. I ended up winning a tournament, a streamer showdown tournament recently, which was super cool. It was an invitational. The live is still up, but I think of turning that into story time. I put VGC. Why did I put VGC? As you can see, I've been prepping for the World Championships as well. So it's been a lot. But yeah, the $350 showdown special, I won, kind of breaking the rules of Pokemon Pocket. I basically went in with no Oricorio response. So if you guys want to see that be like a full video, you got to the end of the party, you're like, yeah, drop this as a full like story time type video. I've been watching Wolf videos, like his tournament videos, to get like an idea of how I'd want to do it. If that interests you, please let me know in the comment section below, so I can start working on it. Other than that, this has been really fun. I hope that you guys, this is to you. If the official Pokemon account worker ever watches my videos, you're doing an amazing job. I know social media jobs are hard, especially when you have to read so many comments of just vitriol and hate sometimes. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you guys watching back at home. Be sure to like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to go out. Going to let these cards talk eventually. Bye-bye.